Hey, this is Tony Soprano, and you're listening to Jersey Boys Podcast with your hosts, Dave Sturchio and the Ernst Boys. I mean, I could give a shit about the Cowboys. We're in New Jersey. These guys got balls being Cowboys fans in Jersey. Anyways, enjoy. Well, whatever.
How about this, Cowboys?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode and edition of the Jersey Boys Podcast right here on the Chop Sports Media YouTube channel and, of course, the Premier Podcast Network. Your host right now is none other than myself, Dave Sturchio, alongside nationally known comedian Bret Ernst and, of course, the Grinch himself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. America's fan, Keith Ernst. Fellas, look, we'll get into, obviously, another big win for the Cowboys. We'll get into all the specifics and all that stuff, but right now, as we're recording this on a Tuesday, it is 40 minutes away from the NFL trade deadline, and already the Cowboys Nation is up in arms right now because the 49ers, the San Francisco bang bang Niner gang, went out there and improved their team, I would say dramatically, by adding one Chase Young for a third-round pick. And, of course, the Washington Commanders, Redskins, all those guys over there, the football team, they also trade away Montez Sweat to the Bears for a second-round pick. So it looks like the Washington Commanders are proverbial waving the white flag. And, of course, the Giants yesterday moving on from Leonard Williams, sending him over to Seattle for a bag of balls, I think. I don't even know. I think a third-round pick. But, look, the NFC East, you know, obviously the Eagles did what they did over the weekend. They struggled, and they got themselves another win over the Washington Commanders. But overall, it looks like the NFC East got a little easier, but the NFC as a whole got a little better. I'll start with you, Keith. Your knee-jerk reaction to the Niners and let's say in the Philadelphia Eagles, who added Bird the other day or a week ago, a new safety, is really didn't make an impact yet. But overall, you know, the NFC got a little they got bolstered, I guess. How do you feel about this trade that went down today?
You know, it's for a third round. You're like, damn, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and then I'm like, those motherfuckers, like maybe we did. If Washington can't stop the Dallas Cowboys from going to a Super Bowl, they're going to trade it to a team that already kind of owns us, but now we really can't fucking get there. You know what I mean? They did that shit on purpose. I'm telling you right now, they did.
No,
they could have. You're telling me that's the only team you could trade him to? You're trading him to a team that, you know, is already kind of Super Bowl bound. I know they're 0-3 in the last 3 games, but now you're trading your best player there. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, they're doing it to prevent it from us.
But ready for the John Lynch experience right now. I don't know if you guys are realizing what just happened. So they acquired Chase Young for a third-round pick. Now, clearly, he's still on his rookie deal, right? If Chase Young walks in free agency, guess what? The 49ers are getting a compensatory third-round pick if he leaves. So they essentially got him for free. Like,
just for this season almost, right?
John Lynch, bravo, my friend. That's genius fucking marketing right there, man. Like, you don't know if he's going to sign long-term, and you don't know if they're going to be able to afford him long-term.
How many players can you have out on defense? And look, we've handled Chase Young. We have. We've pretty much owned Washington in every game.
I agree.
You know, so I meant, you know, I know Dak was awful last year in the last game, but whatever. You know, you take it.
Do you also contribute this to the fact that they're paying Brock Purdy like $750,000? You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's how, you know, once you pay that quarterback, guess what? Things don't go your way as much. And I know that Jalen Hurts also just got the bag, but, you know, how many guys can they keep around during that entire length of the contract? We're going through the same shit. Yeah. And I just wish for the Cowboys fans' sake, and this is coming from me, which, again, this is like breaking news that, like, I'm okay right now, that I'm not like, oh, I can't believe they didn't trade for that. They could have gave up. Look, like, we all realize what we did just most recently. What's the biggest trade that we've made in recent memory where there's a lot of capital involved, right? You were talking about Amari Cooper. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest trade we've made. We traded a first rounder for him, right? So now, after realizing that you trade him, I guess, 4 years later for a 7th round pick, I feel like that strikes some fear into the Joneses, saying like, oh man, you know, look at all that capital we gave up for a guy that couldn't even last here. And then we got nothing for him. So now I feel like they're going to keep all their picks closer to the vest. I feel like if the Cowboys fans just understand how the Joneses operate, that you'll be a little bit less pissed off right now because I'm not feeling any sort of way. I feel, everybody's like, you got to get better mid-season, Brett, right? You got to get better. You got to keep adding these guys. Like, have the Cowboys has that ever been their recipe for success over here? When's the last time we did that shit?
First of all, I don't give a shit. If we're going to get something, well, look, I agree in Keith's theory, but I think they did it to fuck the Eagles. Because, it's still, for us, it's a good situation. We don't have to face them. We still haven't played Washington. We got to play them twice. You know what I mean?
Give me 3 dubs. 3.
Yeah. No, well, look, I'm more concerned about what we need. We need offensive linemen, man. It's just that simple.
Shit. Now,
I mean, like yesterday.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
We have no depth. And Tyron Smith, as much as I love him, man, it's a detriment to keep having him on the team if he can't play. If he's not dependable, I don't know what we're paying him now, but we need to get some tackles. We need to get some interior linemen. We are so thin.
I'm well aware.
And then we lost, whatever his name is, Akanawaka, whatever. The other tackle went down.
He should be back, though, bro.
Say what?
He should be back, they said.
But again, it's all tender.
Yeah.
That's our biggest concern. I mean, look, we've got enough. I mean, would I like Chase Young? Yeah, of course. But what are we going to give up for him?
Well, a 3rd round pick is what they're calling for. So,
well, you know what? I was watching the Monday night game last night, and let me tell Dan Campbell, man, he's an ex-Dallas Cowboy too.
Dog.
But I meant he's coaching very well, and his players love him. What he said, what Troy Aikman said, he said is so true. And he's like, I can make trades that make my team better. He's like, but I don't want to mess with the locker room right now. And that's something that plays into effect. Guys, we have the 3rd ranked defense right now. Why mess with it?
Well, also
let it roll. Why? I mean, just we got something going on. Have faith in the team. Let's have faith in them and roll with our boys.
Now you're speaking to the choir because look, not for nothing. And I know Emmanuel Acho or whatever on that network over there said something that finally made sense. Like the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins are the only teams in the NFL to score 40 or more twice. Right. And then the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns are the only team in the NFL to let up 3 or less points twice. Do you know the only team in the NFL to score more than 40 points twice and let up less than 3? The Dallas Cowboys. So why are we like, and well, obviously we'll get into the Rams game, but 5-2 doesn't happen by accident. No. They're a good fucking team. And I understand when you're playing the Jets and you're playing the Giants and you're playing these shitty teams and then you get fucking the doors blown off you by the 49ers. Everybody's up in arms like, oh my God, this is it. This is our kryptonite. We can never get past this team. The Cowboys are in a very, very good spot right now, post-win against the Rams, which was, by the way, a must-win.
I think what Brett said is the only thing I could agree with is just getting O-line depth.
I'm with it. Let's do it.
But I was thinking he's right. But how many starting O-linemen besides Tyron Smith are injured right now?
For the Cowboys?
Yeah. None, right?
No, it's tender, though. It's tender.
No, you're right. You're right. No, it could go in and out. And we know Jesse Hawley spoke of this.
Yeah.
In training camp. So I meant it is a little nerve-wracking with our O-line. So, but I mean, we can get into that when we start talking about the Rams game and stuff. But I'm very content. I don't care about trades like that. I really don't.
Me neither.
I never was a big guy on trade day. And Sturch, you nailed it when you said, I'm very surprised you're not up in arms because you are a person that does that almost all the time with everything.
I know.
You're like, we haven't done anything in free agency. We haven't done anything in here and there. You usually you're content.
Once you actually accept the fact that this is the way this front office works, like you cannot go out there and be surprised. You can't go out there today online on Twitter and go nuts over this shit when nothing changes with the team.
All right, but you keep saying a 3rd round pick. What does he make a year? Because that's going to be up against our cap, isn't it?
He's on his rookie deal, so whatever that is, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it was a first round pick. It was a 1st round pick, so it's in the millions, but not that much. But but honestly, you have Micah Parsons, you have DeMarcus Lawrence, you got Dorrance Armstrong, right? And of course, when you look at a guy like Chase Young, sure, on paper and aesthetically looking, the guy's a menace. But let's be honest, how many fucking games has this guy missed? Like, I'm going to get excited about a guy who can't stay on the fucking field?
I
Go
look,
pick.
I think he's had 5 sacks so far this season.
Chase Young?
I think so. I think that's what I read. Yeah.
He also didn't suit up.
And he has 4 forced fumbles, I think.
Or something.
No, but it's not so much what
He's a good player.
I'm not here to put down Chase Young and what he doesn't bring or does bring. It's more what we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to focus on what we've been doing the last 2 games. And I'll segue into this Rams game. Okay. Is our offense is finally moving. It's finally putting points on the board. Dak is finding the receivers. I mean, he had 2 awesome games. And I'm somebody, again, I just, you read comments. But when the interception happened, they're like, there's Dak again. It was tipped twice.
Like, right.
It was
like,
a great – I mean,
did the ball need to go there? Probably not. You know
what
I mean?
I mean? What? Quarterbacks can't throw interceptions now? It's like –
no, according to sources, no.
that's ridiculous.
You're not
I'll be the first, but that is dumb. I don't think it was – it was a bad pass, though. I watched it.
It was tipped by the offensive line.
It's okay.
It was tipped by the D lineman. And it still almost went to the receiver. It was a good pass. Then it got tipped again. But the point is I'm really I mean, again, I don't think this Eagles game is a must win. I don't think it's that important.
The Rams one was.
I don't know. I don't get the
I'm joking.
I don't get the logic with either of you.
He's joking.
And I'm both of you, by the way. Again, I'm your bad feelings before a game. I'm
you
you guys calling me the Grinch. All right. You guys are so pessimistic, and you're the biggest Grinches before games.
No.
I know I had my outlandish fun prediction in the beginning of the season, but I've been pretty much here you guys are all over the fucking place. I swear to God. Brett one week is like, oh, I told you guys before. I watched them in training camp. This team's on a different level. This is the greatest team I've ever seen. It's like, really? Have you watched? Can I Grinch out, please?
No, oh yeah, sure. Just interrupt my fucking shit and go ahead, bro. Go ahead, go Grinch.
Go ahead, do your thing. Sorry, no, you guys want to cut me off because I'm about to clown you guys and you can't take it. It's fine.
Oh no! As soon as they showed up,
I'm joking. I'm joking, saying this isn't a must-win. That's a joke. So take it easy.
It's not a must-win, but it's not a must-win either. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I tell you what, I'm me. When they showed up to warm-ups and they had the blue jerseys on.
Oh, God.
I
man.
love those uniforms.
But the best is Sturchio, well, they better be ready. Oh, well, this team better be ready because I'm telling you right now, the roller coaster of emotions, which, though, I like that, Sturch.
Yeah,
I do. Because I shouldn't really talk about it because it's almost like we're a family and it's like when you say shit to your wife that you don't want her to say.
Right.
And I kind of bring that out on the podcast because you get really intimate and personal with some of these comments with the Cowboys. And it's like,
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Okay.
And look, so obviously Brett brought up the Rams game and the Cowboys did get themselves their 5th win of the season, handedly at that. They went down, they got the ball first. They went down the field. Great offensive drive.
I don't think so. Let's talk about that first drive because we're going to talk about momentum.
Talk about the fact that I missed it.
But I'm just saying they sacked Dak 3 freaking times, and that illegal hands to the face. Yes, it was a call, but thank God the ref saw it because that is a huge momentum turner there. It can be.
It was.
So I meant little things like that is like that. That's what spiraled the Rams because as soon as Stafford really got behind, it was over. But go ahead. Sorry, I just wanted to. You said it was a great first drive, and it was after that. But
all I'm saying, and the reason why I say great is because 7. Right. So it's like 7 points. You don't see it from the Cowboys, especially on opening drives. So that happens. Dak Prescott played an incredible game of football. He really did. Like he was finding all the receivers, all the right moves, using his legs. Like the guy, I'm telling you right now, every time this guy uses his legs, his throws are better. He's better on the run than sitting back there in the pocket. That's just the way it's almost as if when he's sitting in the pocket, he's doing too much thinking. And he's in his own head, and sometimes those balls are forced, and they're ugly, and it's just a bad look.
Sturchie, that's a good point. Is when he's running, he's not thinking. He's looking. He's reacting.
Right. He's reacting in real time. Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, how the hell CeeDee Lamb got that wide open on that scramble drill is beyond me, but it goes as a testament to how good Lamb is, to continue the play and not give up on the play and follow Dak's eyes, right? So those are the throws that I'm like, holy shit. I remember there was one throw in the Tampa Bay playoff game on the run across his body, touchdown, and he's fucking pumped up and he's doing the let's fucking go. And I'm like, damn, those are the throws that this dude needs to make.
His name is Dak Prescott.
I don't even know if Keith Bret was in the Chop Sports group at that point, but
Yeah, I was.
okay.
I was. We were calling you.
So Rain, Dakota Prescott. So anyway, he played well. The one thing I will say about the offense that's kind of still got me shook a little bit is the running game. I just don't see it there.
Well, Pollard only touched the ball 12 times, and
Is that your bell cow?
I don't see what.
Is that what you want out of your bell cow? If McCarthy's
here's the thing, and I know Keith didn't agree with the play calling. He might have changed his opinion later on. But even on that first drive, when it was 3rd and 4, you thought we were going to run. We ran a lot of play action. It really kept the Rams on their toes. And it's the reason why the passing game was so successful. I think for this particular game, I like the way they called it. I like the way McCarthy called it. I'm happy because we weren't really running that strong, but there were plays. And by the way, I love Rico. Rico's the guy that, that was Pollard last year. And people are realizing it's different when you're number 1 back as opposed to a number 2 back. But obviously the game plan worked. The offensive plan worked because the defense really had a problem stopping our passing. But yeah, no, I mean, he barely had any touches. I think it was just part of the game plan as a more to him, to a testament to Pollard and the running game being stagnated. It
now,
was,
Keith, yeah, I agree with that. And Keith, I'll bring you up only because pregame you asked about Deuce Vaughn and he was inactive, and that kind of pissed you off a little bit.
It does. And
Do
it
you
still
see
does.
a role for him right now in this offense?
I mean, then we'll put him somewhere so we can look like an asshole. Then send him to another team and then watch what happens. Watch. I don't get it. I just don't. I mean, the kid, I know they're looking at his size. Just give him a fair shot. But I want to go back to the game, to the play calling. They obviously did see something for them to start making those passing more. Yeah. But that is not how we're going to win it. I'm telling you right now. We can't do that. We just can't. It has to be more balanced.
But they just kind of did. They just kind of did.
But it's a team that's 3
for that game, Sturch, for that
game. If we go into a mentality like that against the top team, I'm saying, let's say next week against the Eagles, okay? We're not going to win like that.
Well,
we're not.
Can I pump the brakes for a second? Because the Eagles, what I've seen out of the Eagles the last couple of weeks is that they are susceptible to the air game. I believe that.
I don't care.
You got to establish the run, though. You
got to have the balance. We don't have.
You have to. You got to keep on your toes.
Dude, we've seen this. So look at the teams we blew out last year: the Colts, the Bears, and then we get to a game, and then the shit happens because we're like, oh, this passing all the time worked, and then we go under. Well, just have a balanced attack. The Cooper Rush game plan.
You just said that it was for this game. They adjusted and
I'm assuming.
So now, but I'm saying, what's stopping Mike McCarthy from seeing that this week in Philadelphia and realizing
he does, and if it's
working,
he could. But I'm telling you right now, if mark my words, if we're gonna pass more than run, we are not winning one. We may be a wild card. That's it. We can't do that. It's not our style.
I'm not saying that's not the recipe for success, because we know that, right? We know that that's not it. But I'm saying if he saw something and he adjusted
then you do it. I mean, listen, everything's in the game, man.
Yeah,
no, I'm saying everything's in the game. All right, so here's how it works. You're either thinking ahead of game, okay? Look, we're not the greatest show on turf, okay? That's just not who we are.
Right.
And if you're going to sit there and prepare for a game, now let's just say the Eagles are like, all right, since they were so pass heavy, they're probably going to try and throw us off and be more run heavy. So we'll come out with this type of defense to stop this type of offense. After the first 3 plays, it doesn't matter. Everybody makes the adjustments, and you gotta go with what's better.
Yeah, you script out that first drive
Yeah.
and then you make adjustments. I get it.
And then during the game, but again, we need to establish that run in order to establish the pass. It's just the way it is.
And if you look at this game, I mean, what was the longest run that we had? I don't know.
I think it was the end around.
Probably
Was
one
that end around. I mean, see, it's just I don't know, man. I mean, that all I know is that with our offense is suspect always to me. And I'll tell you, Dak is playing awesome football, but he still has not even come close. I'm not falling for it again. I'm not falling for the girlfriend that says she's not going to cheat and she does. I'm just not. Okay, I gotta see it more. I gotta see it later in the season. I mean, I love what he's doing right now, and he is playing awesome. But I gotta see it after Thanksgiving, and I have to see it in the playoffs. So when I say after Thanksgiving, that's when with our team, that's when I start seeing must-win games is after Thanksgiving. Jacksonville, for example, because if you look after Thanksgiving with this Dallas Cowboy team, that's where we kind of falter. Is after Thanksgiving. Jacksonville and then Washington, which we still could have won the division.
Yeah.
If we won that one. The season before that, I don't know if you guys remember Arizona and the Raiders. We lost to Arizona when we had to win.
I remember that Raider game.
The Raider game was awful. But I'm just saying, though, like that's the time where I'm like, okay, I want to see what Dak and our offense or defense, this is the time. Now, what they're doing leading up to this is fantastic.
Okay.
And the ship is going the right way.
This is my thing. All right. And when you're looking at progression, my crescendo, my consistency, that's the sign that you have a good team and not a week to week team. Right. So again, when you're looking at why this win was so important. So now we actually have a win in the NFC West. Okay. I mean, now look, if the Niners keep losing, that's great. We needed the Eagles to lose, which the Washington blew that. But this is when all the positioning comes into play. And it starts now. You want to see a team build and the way our offense has been playing these last 2 games. Again, I'm with Keith. You can't keep waking up and every Christmas and expecting gifts and they just don't show up. Like as fans, we're conditioned for this. Now, why this game is important, obviously for the NFC East implications, but the team has been playing great for the past 3 games. Minus the Niners, but between the Chargers, the Rams, you're starting to see consistency. You're starting to see the offense get in the end zone. Dak is making his reads. You're not going to fire on every cylinder every game. So, this is what I'm excited about. But I don't know who's going to show up yet. We don't know.
Well, that was my next question and I'll start with Keith and we'll go around. But do you guys, now that they're 5-2, they had a gritty win against the Chargers, a convincing win against the Rams. The convincing wins come against lesser teams like the Jets and the Giants, right? And we're getting these wins. We're stockpiling the wins. When you look at the games like Arizona, and then you look at the games like the 49er game, are you willing to put those in the past now of saying, you know what, those were complete blips and it doesn't make any sense comparable to what we've seen them put on paper and in real time watching them the last couple of weeks? Are those games now far enough in your radar or in your rear view and saying you know what, the fucking hell, that was weird? It wasn't
not for me. No, not at all. Because if you're looking, we'll have 2 major wins and then then we lose, right? Mm-hmm. 2 wins, then we lose. We need to get consistency and not a pattern of fucking tanking. So,
Keith?
Yeah, I do. And the reason I do is because you learn about your team. Your team is still working together. It's still going. As I said last week, that if we played Arizona, now Josh, he got traded, you saw, to the Vikings, right, Dobbs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm saying, if we played him last week, we would have won. And when I say that is, that they weren't expecting that. That was definitely a cheap shot. That what I said before, they didn't watch the condensed version like I did. They had no clue. They had nothing on Josh Dobbs. They went in there and they got caught slipping, and that's what happened. The San Francisco game, once again, shooting themselves in the foot. That whole game, which I watched. I mean, yeah, they lost, but once again, there were things just not going their way. And that's why I want to bring up the Rams game again.
Mhm.
Okay. We're talking about how great Dak played and all this. Look, that pick 6 was huge.
Deron
That
Bland.
pick 6 puts comfort on the offense. The offense doesn't have to carry the team anymore. That's the way we have to win games. And I keep saying that. All right.
Yeah, but you can't rely on a pick 6 every game
You
either.
can't, but when it's 17-7 and you're coming out, it's a lot better than being down 17-7.
No,
That's what I'm saying with our offense. But no, with our offense. Because if
Okay.
you look at a team like Mahomes, a lot of these teams, they come out, they're down. You're like, oh, I don't know. With us, I'm telling you right now, we go down 10 points. It's not good.
It's a
not.
stretch. It's a stretch.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it's completely done, but it's not good at all. So I meant that pick 6 was huge.
Yeah.
Was huge. So
I'm just looking at something up real quick.
Well,
Just
look again. We gotta look at patterns, and we have to look at the Arizona game. You're like, okay, that was chalked up to us losing Diggs, and then having all the injuries, maybe. But then the way we lost to the Niners, that's fucking disturbing. And now we had 2 good games in a row. If we come out and shit the bed against the Eagles and not play well at all, I'm not even talking losing by 3 and it's a fucking fight. If our offense can't move the ball, we're making stupid penalties, all that shit in the 9th week of the season, then it's like, you know what? It's just a little above average team that isn't going to go anywhere.
now.
yeah,
And we got to check our character.
I agree with it depends who we're playing with consistency. Meaning if we were playing Carolina this week, it would be, there's a good chance we could have a 3-game winning streak. And my buddy Arthur pointed this out, and he's right. He's like, it's got to drive you nuts. He's like, you guys beat up on lower teams and mediocre teams. But when it comes to the elite teams, you struggle, or you get, it's just a bad game. And that's the Cowboys in a nutshell right there in Dak Prescott, what it's been.
Okay.
I mean, you look at how many like solid teams has he beat for us? Think about it. I mean, of recent. Can we talk about that?
How many teams beat solid this year?
No, just in general.
We beat
Dak
the Eagles
Prescott
on Christmas Eve was a big game.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts wasn't playing.
But yeah,
Jalen Hurts wasn't playing though. Hold on, no. I'm talking about a full-fledged, starting monster of a team that comes in, and then Dak is our quarterback, and there's something on the line, and he doesn't put up shitty numbers, and it's basically the reason why we lose.
Now, all right. So
give me a game.
What are you talking about? Just in his career?
Well, you were texting, so no. I'm just saying in the last.
I'm looking up a stat that I wanted to bring up on the show.
No, I'm saying in the last few seasons
when we beat Tampa in the playoffs,
7-9. That's not a monster team. I'm saying they're an 8-9 team. I'm talking about a badass team. This is the test right here. This is another test for him. That's what I'm trying to say. This Eagles team. That's why I'm so suspect in picking the Cowboys.
Well, that was my point.
Okay, so I went back in time. I know we're historians here, and we like to kind of look at some of the past stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So 92, 93, 95 are the last times the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowls. Obviously, it's been fucking forever. We all get it. But we're looking at a team right now that's 5-2 with a really bad loss at the Niners and a disturbing, shitty loss at the Arizona Cardinals, right? So I said, you know what? Let me go check out the 1995 Dallas Cowboys season. Just out of curiosity, what games we won, what games we lost. Was there any embarrassing losses? So just to give you guys an idea, the Cowboys were 4-0. 4-0, beating the shit out of teams. They beat the Giants 35-0, beat the Broncos by 10, beat the Vikings by 6 in overtime, beat the Cardinals by 14. They were 4-0. Income, a road game against the Washington Redskins. They lost. So I can only imagine saying all right, how the fuck, how does that work? The
that's different. That's different, Sturch. It's way different.
Here we go. Let Sturch go. He's researched it. Good.
So 8-1, right? They get to 8-1, which the Dallas Cowboys right now they're 5-2, but they have the potential to be somewhere in that 8-9 win range sooner rather than later based off their schedule, right? They were 8-1 going against the 49ers. They lost 38-20. We talked about that game a couple weeks ago.
We already brought that up.
But what I'm saying is, even the Super Bowl winning teams have these shitty losses that you can go back and say,
well, hold on. Okay.
I believe we lost that game like this. When
You're bringing up exactly why I brought up that 49er game last time. That's exactly what I said. That's why I brought that 49er game up, is for the point that you're making.
But what I'm saying is, that's why I asked you guys, can we remove this as that game on our schedule and say, that wasn't the Cowboys, this is the Cowboys that we're watching now, where the offense is scoring points, the defense is still holding teams under.
Okay.
You know, and I showed you that stat yesterday where the Cowboys have not let up a 100-yard receiver or a 100-yard rusher.
Yeah, but the 100-yard rusher is generic because everything's a committee now. It is.
Well, the case. I'm saying, like, even
the receiver thing's good, but I meant the running back. Like I said, we're giving up 100. We're averaging 108 yards per game,
and not for nothing. But that receiver thing is with Trayvon Diggs being out.
Yeah, well, Deron Bland is stepping up for sure. But I meant,
right.
No, I was going to say that. What you're saying right now, you're saying now, is this the Dallas Cowboy team? What Brett and I were just having a conversation about while you were researching it is, once again, this game coming up. That could be the Cowboys. The team we just saw could be, because that was a mediocre team we beat bad.
Yeah, they weren't shit. They weren't.
The Chargers are a mediocre team. But when they get to this kind of team, a San Francisco 49er type team, like the Eagle type team, those types of teams. Now, if what this outcome of this game with Dak Prescott means a lot. It really does. It really does. I mean,
I agree.
I'm not saying it's a must win. That's not a must win. I just want to see where this team stands.
Listen,
because we're still in the playoff hunt.
Right. The NFC, the way it's shaking out is that, yes, the Lions are playing over their heads right now, and they're playing good. They got a good football team, right? Then you got the Niners, then you got the Eagles. They're all going to be in it. The Dallas Cowboys are making the playoffs, okay? The Dallas Cowboys are a playoff team.
Oh, God.
This game is a measuring stick if the Cowboys can win the NFC East. The Cowboys are getting in the playoffs. It's a matter of if they're winning the division, and that means a home game. And which, by the way, they've played phenomenal at home this year. You know what I mean? They played very good at home. Huh?
The scores have been ridiculous.
I know.
Last time, I want to chime in here, man.
Sure.
Getting back to your point of that Cowboys team versus this one. When Dallas was 4-0 and they ended up losing, it was out of character. Okay, but we knew who they were. We don't know who the fuck this team is. So it's almost like, you ever have that friend that can scrap, but then he gets stole one time in a parking lot, or he didn't see a dude come up and hit him and may get knocked out. Then you're like, oh, that doesn't, that's because he got sucker punched.
Brett's using his mom's references again. Go ahead.
Say what?
So you're using your mom's references again.
Yeah. But then you get that guy that's always running around sucker punching people, but you don't know if they could fight. You know what I mean?
Sure.
There's a big difference. And this Dallas team is running around sucker punching people that they know they can beat.
That's not true.
It is true. They got hold up. Hey, let me finish my point. They got hold up by San Francisco, bro.
Well aware.
Okay?
I was there. We're also
right. And what they're doing is
punch. Why can't that be a sucker punch? That's what I'm saying.
No, Arizona was a sucker punch.
So this is a second.
No, they knew what they were getting into with the Niners.
When they went into the Niners, everybody was hyping them up. They're the best team, and they fucking got their ass kicked. They didn't even, it was a one-on-one from the shoulder in the schoolyard brawl, and they got fucking laid out.
I think the score doesn't tell the story again.
Well, dude, we couldn't stop them. Look.
When they're getting first downs on penalties on third down. Yeah.
I think it's all
right. Look, man.
Is my mic on today? I just want to make sure.
Just go ahead and talk. Go ahead.
No. What I want to make, as he goes out of focus.
No, because you're bringing up a legendary team that had amazing coaching and talking about a season where they're 4-0 and they end up losing to a division rival, which, there hasn't been an undefeated team in the history of the NFL since the Dolphins. Okay.
You're missing.
So
I think you're.
It's two different teams.
I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware that this is not the fucking 95 Cowboys. I'm well aware. Okay.
No,
and by the way,
I'm making your analogy. What you're saying is you're showing even great Super Bowl teams lost and they can get blown out, but it's out of character. Okay, this is not. We don't have the character. We don't know who the fuck we are.
So we're 7 games into a season, and you still don't understand. I mean, Keith has painted the picture like Bob fucking Ross every week of how to win football games. How do you not? You're not seeing that yet. You're not seeing
now. Like I said, with these last 2 games, our offense has been playing well, but we when you're looking the first 2 games, we don't know who the fuck we were. That's all I'm saying. Now we're starting to get a picture of what our offense can do. And this game is the one that's going to let us know. It's a division rival. They're a heavyweight champion. And if we get blown out again, or if we can't get in the end zone, or if this is the same old shit that we did against the Niners and the Cardinals, that's going to tell us who we are. Now, if we're scrapping, we end up losing by 3 or whatever the fuck it may be, it's still identifying who it'll give me hope. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. The if you look at games where they were on the line, like back in 2019, when if we win that Eagles game, we win the division in Veterans Stadium, and Dak had a fucking awful game. Awful. I don't even think we scored a touchdown in that game.
It's happened to Romo. It's happened to Aikman. They all happen.
No. See, you're doing it again. No, it hasn't though. I meant.
Look, we just said that the Troy just lost to a.
Yeah, but he also won them.
3 NFC championship games.
We're not player. We're saying that Dak has not done it yet, bro. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Anything.
I know the fucking guy hasn't done shit. I'm just telling you that guy.
My brother's head's gonna pop. But Sturch, you're not understanding though.
You're going back 27 fucking years to prove that we don't have consistency in it. We don't have consistency.
Bro, I've seen Romo.
My boy Kevin is going crazy right now.
I've seen Romo beat the Eagles when we had to with Donovan McNabb, with Michael Vick. Romo has won those games.
Sure.
What I'm saying is Dak Prescott has not. We've won enough games to get into the playoffs with him, yeah. But when it gets to a certain head-to-head, let's go at it. That's why I was asking, and not one of you can come up with it. Give me a game.
I'm not. I don't. My memory doesn't go past last week.
What about when the? I mean, again, you tell me not to go too far back in the past.
No, you can. Go ahead. I'm being serious. I'm not being a dick. I want to know.
Dak Prescott plays an all-world game against Russell Wilson when he was good in the Seattle Seahawks. That was
in the wild card game.
Yeah,
that was a good game. That was
a fucking win.
That's not bad. Yeah, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
Not for nothing. But his rookie season, if not for a crazy fucking turn of events with Cook's fucking toe dragging on the line, he was about to beat Aaron Rodgers. He went toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers in rookie year.
He beat Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay that year.
I know, but I'm saying in the big game when it counts.
He's still a rookie. But yeah, I get it.
I'm not saying this is about Dak Prescott. This is about our team. All right? You're comparing bringing up that 94-95 season. It's a different team. All right. We don't know. Our team is not consistent. And, how the hell do you become the number 1 defense, have 5 sacks, then you let the Cardinals just make their way with you. And, Dallas wasn't like that year. That was when they were 4-0, that was out of character for them to lose. We don't have consistency as a team.
What I'm saying is a month from now, if the Cowboys, for whatever reason, let's just say 4 games, because that's usually 4 weeks a month, right? If the Cowboys are 9-2 or 6-3, 9-2 or 8-3, I can look back at the 49er game and say that's out of character, is what I'm saying.
Well, it depends who we beat on the way there, but yeah.
We're gonna beat some shit teams because Carolina, Washington, the Giants again. Like, we're gonna win fucking games that we're supposed to win.
That's the thing. That's why I brought up. Really, if you look at the ladder,
pass here.
Look at our record, bro. Look at our schedule past Thanksgiving. This is why I brought it up.
It gets shitty. It gets shitty.
100%. It gets hard. You mean? Yeah.
Yeah, shitty.
It's hard. Really hard.
Yes, but that's why you got to win these fucking games now.
No, all right, yeah, but yeah, no, for sure. We got to take these wins because that streak is going to be really tough. I agree.
I'm confused on your point, man.
Because the whole thing goes back to the 49er game, and I'm still on it, right? Of saying that if in a month from now the Cowboys string together a 8-3 start or a 9-2 start, I thought, or at least I can collectively say that Cardinal game, man, that's just weird to me. That 49er ass kicking, that's just off.
But what we're talking about is the team we have now. What we're talking about is a team that for the last 2 weeks has moved the ball consistently, which is very, very optimistic. But right now, if we're looking at the NFL and what the best team is and the ones that are really consistent, I mean, you're going to get a loss, right? It's the Eagles, the Chiefs, even Detroit. You don't know who they are, right? Dallas is in that category. They have to define themselves this game.
All right, so can I cut you off for 1 second and ask you,
Sure.
Is there any team in the NFC right now that you can identify them as saying, like, I know who those guys are?
Yeah,
right? They just lost to the Jets. Let's also.
But teams can lose, man. They can lose.
That's what
Dave, listen. You could be a great team and lose to a sorry team. It's how you lose, right?
Yes.
It's okay. It's okay. Nobody's been undefeated since the Dolphins. Okay, if you're a good, solid team that moves the ball when you want to, makes the stops when you can, and come like what they did against Washington this week is the sign of a good team. Okay? Even if they got down, they found a way to win.
See,
we're consistent with shitty teams, and we're not consistent with teams.
You do realize that the Philadelphia Eagles right now are just a game better than the Cowboys. Well,
now you're talking about stats and not the character of a team.
Well, listen, what Brett's, let me chime in. Sturch, what Brett's saying is, and he's right, and he says this all the time, good teams find a way to win, no matter what the circumstances. And that's what the Eagles have. I know we all know they lost to the Jets, but I'm saying they could have won that game too, but they didn't. But a lot of these games they've pulled out because they're a good team. And they are.
I'm not saying Dallas isn't a good team. I'm not even saying they're not even better than the Eagles. We just don't know. We don't know.
Okay.
Because of the inconsistency. Now, the what's giving me hope are these last 2 weeks because we've been playing great on both sides of the ball. Special teams has been playing great. Coaching, I loved the way I know this particular game, the way that McCarthy called it. I thought it was great. But this is the game that's really it's another test, and this is going to see what we're made of. And despite the fact that it's Philadelphia, despite the fact that it's an NFC East game, we have to see if we're being consistent. Even if we lose, okay? Let's say we lose. If we're playing a good game and we're consistent and the offense is scoring and it's just a fucking heavyweight fight, as opposed to us showing up like we did against the Niners and the Cardinals, that'll give me more hope than if we just get fucking our ass kicked or we can't move the ball or we're getting fucking neutral zone penalties and all the stupid shit that is consistent with a team that's mediocre, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so look, we got the win over the Rams. The Cowboys are 5-2. Now it's the Eagles. Now I know that a lot of people are supposed to just say, it's just another week, but that's not true. Everybody knows. Everybody feels a different air right now. I don't care who you are. You can't you just play the game on the schedule. No, it's the fucking Eagles, and the Eagles are the best team in the NFC right now. So that's why this is the heavyweight championship match right now, mid-season heavyweight championship bout, right?
It's a good gauge.
It's a very good gauge. So
to know who we are.
So let's gauge it then, Brett. Do the Dallas Cowboys go into Philadelphia in a heavyweight fight and win this thing? Can they win this thing? Do you think they'll win this thing?
I had us 7-0, and I had us, every game except for I had us losing this game. I thought we were going to beat the Niners and, of course, the Cardinals, and then this would have been our first loss. I'm flipping it. I think that we win this in a close one, say 24-21.
All right.
And then this is going to define us. And then, this is the one that I think we should win this one out of the two. We need to.
So you think we drop to the Eagles at home?
Say what?
You think we drop to the Eagles at home?
Wait, that's like 10 weeks from now.
No. He just said out of the two. Out of the two, this is the one we win.
I think this is the one we win. I think we win it in a close one, say by a field goal. And again, it's I don't want to say it's a must win because it's a win for the. This is a pivotal game that's going to decide who we are. And, then if not, now we're back to the pattern. Two wins, we lose again. We lose the third game to a team that is supposed to be our equal, if not a little better. So, I think we win this one 24-21.
Keith, how are the Cowboys faring in the link?
It's we got to just talking about the Eagles. I mean, dude, AJ Brown is just a monster. I mean, he's a real monster, Sturch.
Like, "Rawr."
He's Halloween like monster,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Hey.
But dude, that guy is just now. When I look at their offense, and it's crazy because when I look at Jalen Hurts a lot, he reminds me of Russell Westbrook. And when I say that is the reason I say that is because they're always making they don't want to win by the run. They want to win by the pass a lot, Philly. They're a very pass happy team. And that I think that plays into our game plan is when they want to pass all the time. I don't like us against the run. The 109 we average 109 yards a game, but and if the Eagles think they're going to beat us by passing more than rushing, it's not happening. I don't see that, but I don't think that happens. I think that they're going to. I believe that they're going to run a lot more. I think it's close in the beginning. I just don't. I see our offense having a pretty bad first half. I see 3 and outs. I see stupid penalties. I see maybe a fumbled kickoff or punt return or something in that manner. And I can see us. I see us losing this game. I do. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for them after all the games that we brought up. I mean, you had to go all the way back to 2018 to bring up Seattle, which our defense played a great game in that too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I meant these games with Dak, I have to see it before I start taking our offense against teams like this, because I know our defense can. I meant, look, our defense isn't elite either. They're above average. They're one of the best in the league, but they're not elite. We know this. And the Eagles are well balanced, man. I think if it was home, I might take us. And I think being in Philly means a lot. It does.
That's kind of where I'm at right now.
So I'm going to say maybe 24-13 or something, 24-10, something like that.
That's a convincing win. So now just playing devil's advocate here, if they do lose like that, 24-10, 2 scores, are you going to be completely up?
No, I'm not. And because just stay the course of the season. Just stay the course. Look, who knows? I mean, we could get some picks or whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's just get in the playoffs and see what happens. Anything can happen, especially with the playmaking defense we do have.
Yeah.
So no, that's not the end of the world. Don't bench Dak. And I said this after the Niner game. Dak's our guy. Let's just ride with him now. We made our bed. Let's roll with it. Let's see what we can do.
And I want to chime in and agree with Keith on that. This is why I'm more concerned about our other NFC wins. I don't. If we lose this game, don't even plan on winning the NFC East. And then just worry about getting in the playoffs as a wild card, and then doing the any given Sunday, anything can happen. But if we lose this, we're not. I can't see us winning the NFC East.
I mean, look, we've seen good teams just kind of hit the skids a little bit. The Niners, right? They've lost 3 in a row. So that doesn't mean that can't happen to a team like Philadelphia, right? So I don't think this one defines the division. I think it makes it a very bad uphill.
I agree too, Sturch. I don't think it defines the division. We still have a shot at the division if we lose.
Yeah, but I mean, again, if they're 8-1 and we're 5-3, it makes it more difficult because now we got to hope that they choke.
It does, but we also playing one more time.
Right.
But do you realize though, coming in again, and this is why I feel that this could be obviously a momentum changing victory if we do win. Going into Philly, okay? Because we lost in San Francisco, we lost in Arizona. You know what I mean? And this is a better team on paper or playing better, and we come in and we scrap it up with them.
I mean, look,
that'll put the whole league on notice.
The road wins for the Cowboys this year has been a very, I mean, Keith was there for one of them and I was there for the other one. It's like those environments, very pro Cowboys, right? There's very pro Cowboys out in LA. It's very pro Cowboys in Jersey. This is another beast. This is not pro
The Eagles
Cowboys.
are going to be up for this too, bro.
No shit.
It's like the Niners. Yeah.
The Eagles focus in on this game. They circle this shit on their calendar. Okay. That is one of those things that they always do. It is Cowboys week. They're well aware, right? I look at this game as not a must win, obviously, but I do look at this game as a big measuring stick to put the fucking 49ers game to bed for me. If the Cowboys can go on the road and beat the Philadelphia Eagles, I will no longer think about the 49ers kicking our ass.
If we beat the Eagles and we play consistently 3 weeks in a row and we beat the Eagles in Philly, San Francisco doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
That doesn't matter because now we're tied with the Eagles, right? Because they still have to have their bye. We would get the NFC East, and also we could get home field advantage that, going into the stretch. It would be a big win, obviously.
It's a massive swing game for the outlook.
This is a huge game.
It's a massive swing game for the outlook of the rest of the season for the Cowboys. Do I think they can get it done? I think they can get it done. I'm not feeling great. Not Philadelphia.
I think we win by a field goal. I think Aubrey Maddock comes in.
Listen, on this one, there is no joking back and forth where I flip the script again. I don't think the Cowboys win this game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought battle. I don't think they get blown out either. I think they play, and I think that's why they play the game, right? Yeah. And I think that the Cowboys being 5-3, but battle-tested in Philadelphia, not blown out, battle-tested, I think it bodes well for the rest of the season. I think Brett's on a lone wolf kind of deal right now. Listen, I'm with you, Brett.
Well, what's your score? What's your score, Sturch?
Unfortunately, like I said, I want it to be a dogfight. I think it will be. Give me the Eagles to probably win the game 20-14.
I say, all right, 20-14. I'm going to say, though, if it's a close game, we win.
Listen, again.
If it's a close game.
That'd be wonderful.
But I'm not doing that. Again, my prediction is what you heard. But I think you're seeing two different things. If you're saying it's a dogfight and they're going back and forth, I think something's going right, and I think we can win that game. I just don't. I don't know, man.
Like Brett said, it's a.
I see a 49er game.
It's a 15 round for me.
I see a 49er game more like the playoff game. I should say not the last one, more like the divisional playoff game. I see a 49er game type like that in this game.
Well, we'll see.
And by the way, if we win by just say Jalen Hurts gets hurt and gets taken out and stuff. I mean, look, I'll take the W, but I really want to see what we're made of. And if we get blown out this game, again, it doesn't mean we're not going to make the playoffs, but I don't think it'll test your character. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Two things real quick. Number one, I don't know if you know this, bro, but Jalen Hurts is 0-1 against Dak Prescott. Somehow one of them is always injured when they play each other.
Yes.
This is the first time they're both healthy?
No, you were at the one that they were both healthy. You and Dave.
Yeah.
No. What I'm saying, this is since they've been that game.
Yeah.
Since they've been both healthy.
Wow. I know, right? Secondly, did you see the scoregami on the Cowboy game?
Yeah, it was like one of the most
it's the only time that score's ever happened. 43-20. Isn't that crazy?
Scoregami?
Yeah, it never ever. That score has never happened in the NFL before. 43-20.
See, I knew we were winning the Super Bowl. I don't know why you guys. I don't know why the fuck you guys down shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, listen, two of us, me and Keith, are on the losing end of this one. We want to be wrong, obviously, and of course,
it's not the end of the world either, guys. Just stay the course. That's all I'm saying.
Here's what I'll say: it's not the end of the world, but if you get the shit kicked out of you again, it could mean, okay, good, we're gonna beat the shit out of some bad teams, and every time we got a fucking hard team.
Hey, look, if we get the shit beat out of us, I am not going to be. I was already depressed after San Francisco, but then to see the way the parity in the league, if we get the shit beat out of us this week, I'm not even. It's going to let me have closure to know that we ain't going to the Super Bowl and winning.
Well, here's bringing up previous seasons, most recent 2007. Let's not forget. We swept the New York Giants, and we beat them pretty bad each game. And then they beat us in the divisional playoffs. So that's what I mean. Just stay the course. You never know. You never know.
The course. That is the new theme of the Jersey Boys podcast. Stay the course.
It's crescendo, baby.
It's crescendo time, and it's staying the course. It's Dak Prescott's going to win MVP. It's going to be all sorts of fun this week. It's Philadelphia. It's fucking on, boys and girls. So enjoy the game. Let's go, Cowboys. For Dave Sturchio, Bret Ernst, and Keith Ernst, this has been another episode of the Jersey Boys podcast. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Watch us every week. We appreciate everybody who's tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hey, this is Tony Soprano, and you're listening to Jersey Boys podcast with your hosts, Dave Sturchio and the Ernst Boys. I mean, I could give a shit about the Cowboys. We're in New Jersey. These guys got balls being Cowboys fans in Jersey. Anyways, enjoy. Well, whatever.
How about them Cowboys?